TV English, the solution for humanity.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another episode where we shall continue to discuss the important topics to do with marriage and divorce. And currently we are on the topic of compatibility. With us is our Shaykh Haytham al-Haddad, who is a prominent figure within the UK. He is on the Islamic Sharia Council of Britain. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
One point I wanted to bring up regarding our previous discussion to do with the issue of virginity. You mentioned that the virgin girl will have a sweet tongue.
Yep.
Does this mean that a non-virgin girl will not have a sweet tongue?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. See, I have to say that Islam is a practical religion, is a practical way of life. And Islam deals with things as they are. Okay? So, Allah Jalla wa Ala created the human beings and He knows how human beings think. And He created this life as a test. So this life will not be perfect.
No.
People will not be perfect. There will be different circumstances. I'll give you just a simple example as we are talking about marriage. There are many sisters who cannot get married. They might say, well, this is unfair. Is that true or not?
It's a fair point.
Okay? Yes, there are many sisters who cannot get married. What can we do? Khalas, they should accept it. This life is a test. Similarly, there are brothers who cannot get married. Okay. There are brothers who do not produce children. They don't have the ability to produce children. Is not fair? Subhanallah al-Azim. Allah Jalla wa Ala gives daughters, sons, and some of them Allah Jalla wa Ala doesn't give them children. Okay? So Islam deals with the reality. And the reality will not be a perfect situation. Why? Because this life is a test.
But it is the best guidance that we have.
Exactly. It is the best guidance to deal with the reality.
I see.
It is the best guidance to deal with the reality. The reality is that there are earthquakes. Is that true or not? You love a person, you are really fond of that person, and then all of a sudden this person dies. What can you do? Part of the reality is there are differences between virgin sisters and non-virgin sisters. Is this a reality or not? It is a reality. What are those differences? One of them, as the Prophet ﷺ said, the virgin sisters, because they do not have a previous experience, they will have a sweeter tongue. It doesn't mean that non-virgin sisters will never have this. No, no. But normally, virgin sisters, they do not talk back. They do not demand a lot. Yeah? They will be satisfied with little, as the Prophet ﷺ said. But non-virgin sisters, and this is a reality, it is known, we see it.
They have more experience. They're more used to the situation.
They are exposed to men as husbands. Yeah? This is a reality. So, if that is the case, we need to know what are the differences between a person who had a previous relationship and a person who does not have a previous experience of this kind of relationship. See, by the way, as we are talking about this, sisters who are married, subhanallah, what the Prophet ﷺ mentioned sends other indirect messages. other indirect messages. What are those indirect messages? The Prophet ﷺ is giving an indication to married sisters that, listen, if you are divorced, okay, it is men who might not be interested in you.
Because
Okay.
of that previous experience.
Because of that previous experience. Now, the Prophet ﷺ did not say this. We have extracted it from the hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Alaykum bil abkar." Go for virgin women. So he gave preference.
So there's obviously a reason for saying
And
that.
then he gave the reason. What does that mean? Okay. It means that it is related to the previous experience. And this gives an indication for sisters that, okay, you have your husband, don't rush into divorce from your husband because you will be that kind of lady. See, Brother Daniel, now we are discussing these things. It is not an issue of virginity. It is the concept. That's why maybe in the previous episode we discussed the issue of virginity, and this time maybe some men and women, they will say, wow, 2 episodes to discuss the issue of virginity. No, we are discussing the concept of sexuality, the concept of relationship, the consequences of the relationship.
Virginity is something that should be taken as something special.
Yes, yeah. So my point is that we are discussing it from various angles rather than just the issue of virginity. In our discussion, we explained why Islam considered virginity as something special, as you said. What are the consequences of nudity, promiscuity, and, as they say, free lifestyle, sexual freedom? And these are some of the consequences.
SubhanAllah. I have one more question to do with this, Sheikh. It is more of a challenge. We have just been saying that to marry a virgin woman is preferred. But our Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi.
most of his wives were previously married. So how do we take this?
Yeah, this is a good point. This is a good point. It was raised by some of those who wrote about marriage. See, the Prophet ﷺ got married, most of his wives, as you said. In fact, his first wife is one of the most beloved wives. The best of women was Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, was previously married. In fact, they said that she was married to 2 men before the Prophet ﷺ. Sauda, the second wife of the Prophet ﷺ, was also previously married. Then Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, the third wife of the Prophet ﷺ, was the only wife that she was not previously married. But when the Prophet ﷺ said, "Tazawwaju," this is a clear instruction by the statement of the Prophet ﷺ.
To get married.
To get married to virgin women, okay? Alaykum bil abkar means go for the virgin women. Now, this is his direct statement, and this is his action. Now, if there is an apparent contradiction between his direct statement and his action or his actions, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it means that his actions are for him.
Okay.
And the statement is for us. Okay? So this is the understanding that the Prophet ﷺ had a unique situation. Allah Jalla wa Ala chose those wives who were previously married, and Allah Jalla wa Ala also commanded the Prophet ﷺ to marry Aisha, who was virgin as well. So Allah Jalla wa Ala gave the Prophet ﷺ previously married women, non-virgin women, and a virgin woman as well, who is Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. So this is the answer for this issue.
Jazakallah khair. I think my final question to you is regarding this. Is there anything that we've missed in terms of compatibility issues? Or do you think we've covered everything?
I think we covered everything regarding compatibility. We discussed the issue of compatibility in terms of culture. Yeah, the compatibility regarding educational background, the compatibility regarding age. We discussed the compatibility regarding age. And then we discussed the compatibility regarding virginity. Is there anything else in your mind regarding compatibility?
Nothing specific, to be honest. I just wanted to make sure that for everyone who's watching, that we've covered everything that we can. The only thing that I possibly might have brought up is something to do with colour of the person or the size of the person. Does that ever come into it?
Yes. So, for example, yeah, a white man marrying a black sister or a black man is marrying a white sister. It depends on the choice of the people. It depends on the choice of the people.
I suppose, like you mentioned previously, that as long as the two people are happy with it, then there's no
Yeah,
problem with it.
then there is no problem with it. White with black, white with brown, whatever. Brown with black, whatever. But see, I want our brothers and sisters to be careful of the cultural package.
That comes with it. It's not just the colour.
Yes, not the color. And wallahi, it's good that you mentioned this point, because we have cases in the Islamic Sharia Council where the sister or the brother is complaining about his parents. And he said that, I want to marry this person, and my parents refused because this person is from a different color. I remember a sister from one of the African countries. They live in the UK, and she wanted to marry a white brother. Her family refused. Her family refused. Okay? Now she said, they refused because he's white, and this is racism. And then her family came to me. We wrote to them in the Islamic Sharia Council, and they came. And I cannot, of course, mention the details of the case, but it happened that the husband was not present. And the mother was a well-educated lady. And she said, Sheikh, this girl doesn't understand our point. Our point is not color.
It's compatibility.
It is compatibility because of the cultural package. Yes, that comes with it. This white brother is from a totally different background. And we know for sure that we are coming from an African background, and we came to the UK to live in the UK. We know for a fact that some of our habits will not be accepted by British people. We know this. We have some examples, etc., etc. But the girl has put this in her mind that it is what? It was racism.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, racism is something we're against in Islam. We don't have this.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yes. With regards to the issue of color, I want to stress again to young brothers and sisters that sometimes your parents might disagree with your choice. Don't say because of racism. This is my point. But because of the cultural package or background that comes with that color. Obviously, in many circumstances, the color difference is because of the origin of the people. Yeah?
Yes.
So the origin of the people has its cultural impact on the people themselves. Okay? So many parents do refuse this because of this element. Now, young people should not say that this is racism.
No, I mean,
there is a difference between racism and taking the cultural background into consideration.
exactly. And our parents, of course, we assume they want the best for us anyway.
Without a shadow of a doubt, yes.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. We're going to have to stop there for a break. But when we come back, we shall continue on to the next topic, which is finding a spouse. How do you actually go about it? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
زواج مبارك.
Behold the signs, knowledge lost.
The ilm will be lifted,
The moon split.
and the moon is being split in two halves.
Adultery widespread.
That adultery will be something that is common amongst people.
The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam no more.
Time that Rasulullah died, that incident was minor signs of the day of resurrection.
Nevertheless, all the prophesied minor signs will certainly herald the onset of the Qiyamah. Join Saeed Raghi in the Minor Signs of Qiyamah every Saturday at 4 p.m. and repeat telecast at 2:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
What would you recommend?
Peace TV presents
What do you have to say about
Learning the Wise Way.
what would you recommend us to take as career?
After we pass our school, so what exactly we should do?
What do you have to say about pursuing two fields together?
Ideas brilliant. Strategy sustained.
The best profession is a profession of a person who invites people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Avail the opportunity with Dr. Zakir.
Depending upon what is their interest. But the main aim should be to spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
To implement the convincing Islamic educational formula to excel in your career. Watch Career Guidance every Friday at 6:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 9:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
Confused, worried, losing control. If you are a parent, these feelings may well be all too familiar. In a society in which we increasingly feel that we are losing our children, it's still possible to get it right. And Islam will show you how. Want to know more? Join me, Muhammad Tim Humble, as we explore the ways to be a good Muslim parent.
Learn a series of beautiful Islamic techniques to help our children get the best in this world and the best in the hereafter in 26 Ways to be a Good Muslim Parent. Next on Peace TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. We have just concluded the issue of virginity when finding a spouse in terms of compatibility, and we shall now move on to the topic of finding a spouse.
Okay, Brother Daniel, before we move to the next point, in the break I remembered a few points. We discussed the issue of virginity, then you mentioned the issue of color, then the issue of size.
Yes.
Yeah? See, with regards to the issue of color, I want to stress again to young brothers and sisters that sometimes your parents might disagree with your choice. Don't say because of racism, this is my point, but because of the cultural package or background that comes with that color. Obviously, in many circumstances, the color difference is because of the origin of the people. Yeah?
Yes.
So the origin of the people has its cultural impact on the people themselves. Okay? So many parents do refuse this because of this element. Now, young people should not say that this is racism.
No, I mean,
there is a difference between racism and taking the cultural background into consideration.
exactly. And our parents, of course, we assume they want the best for us anyway.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I know that some parents might miscalculate things. And we will discuss this when we come to the issue of finding a spouse. Why I'm mentioning this? Because you said we need to move to the issue of finding a spouse. So this discussion is related to this.
It leads on to, yes.
Yes, finding a spouse. So when you want to find a spouse, make sure that there is a level of compatibility between the two cultures, so you don't put your parents into a predicament where they have to accept this person and in fact they don't want to accept this person. And in fact you are putting yourself into this predicament because you have chosen someone your parents will not accept. And then this issue of, oh, well, my parents have refused this person because of racism or because of non-Islamic reason. Many young brothers and sisters, they don't put any attention to the cultural background, and we have seen that the cultural background has its own impact on the life of the couple. So that has to be taken into consideration. One final point about compatibility, about even finding a spouse. The issue of compatibility is very linked to finding a spouse, which is, see, if I don't like certain features, yeah? If I don't, me personally, if I don't like certain features,
yeah,
it doesn't mean that I'm racist against those features.
No, it's just a personal preference.
It is a personal preference.
And it's important because it's part of the physical attraction.
It is part of the physical attraction. Because young people, they become sometimes idealistic, yeah, perfectionist. They don't have that much experience. So they think that if, for example, me, myself, I don't like, yeah, certain features, facial features, it means that I'm racist against those. No, no. The issue is totally different.
Exactly. When it comes to my brothers and sisters in Islam, it's different to I'm looking for a wife.
Without a shadow of a doubt. That is the point. Looking for a wife is different from facial features or other features. And see, the person is brought up in a society. In many circumstances, the person is raised up among people from the same ethnicity. Okay, from the same ethnicity. So, he will like that ethnicity in general. When you bring another person from a different ethnicity, he might not see that person attractive, or he might not like to be married to that person, spending the rest of their life. He will accept that person as a brother or sister in Islam. This is something else. Yeah? But he wouldn't like to accept this person. Now, the older you get, okay, let us understand this dynamic. The older you get, within that culture, within that ethnicity, the more you become used to the facial features of that ethnicity. The more you become attached to that ethnicity, the more you might not accept other ethnicities.
To marry.
To marry. Okay? Or to love physically. This is what we are talking about. And this, what happens between the parents and their children. The parents, because of age, they got used to the features of a certain ethnicity, let alone the food and the other cultural issues. And that has to be taken into consideration. I remember that when I was young, I was living in Taif, in Saudi Arabia. A company, a Korean company, came to install the first telephone system. This Korean company, all of them were Korean. We were not exposed to Korean people. So when we used to look at them, we used to see all of them are the same. We could not differentiate between this person and the other person. Why? Because we are not used to these features. Then I remember I had a discussion with one of them who was speaking a broken English, and I was young, speaking broken English. So we had this discussion. He said, "You look funny." He said to me, "You look funny, you look strange." He tried to explain it. I said to him, "Why?" He said, "Everyone here looks different for us." I said to him, "In fact, you look funny." Now, I look funny to him, he looks funny to me. I'm not racist against him. He was not racist against me.
No, in fact, you're probably having a joke about it together.
Yeah. But I'm not used to these features, and he's not used to these features. Okay? I remember I had a discussion with a man. We hired from him something, okay, a campsite. And I came to him to discuss something, and then he said, but I already explained it to you. I said, no, this is the first time I come to you. Maybe you explained it to my colleague. Yes. He said, for me, all of you the same. You look the same. He could not differentiate between me and the other person because all of us have beard, all of us maybe have some Asian features, something like this. So the point is, these things should be taken into consideration.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. We'll have to end this episode here. But please come back and join us in the next one where we shall continue to talk about the issue of finding a spouse and how to do it in more detail, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك There is joy, there is happiness in this union, let there always be bliss. Allah will bless your home with light, your heart with never-ending delight. Two worlds today have now become one. The road ahead is as bright as the sun. Oh Allah, keep this marriage so strong. In your hands does the future belong.
The more you hear about it, the more you desire to prepare for it. Life after death. Journey of the soul. The day of resurrection. The torment of the hellfire. The reward of paradise. Stay tuned for a life-changing, heart-softening, spiritually uplifting series about the hereafter exclusively on Peace TV.
Know the vivid descriptions of paradise and hellfire from the Quran and authentic ahadith and acquire life-changing habits to be successful in the hereafter. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and repeat telecast at 5:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. The true and faithful servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Some faces in the day of resurrection will beam in brightness.
Their qualities, their characteristics.
الذين آمنوا, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله.
Sheikh Saeed Al-Ghadi.
And their hearts find tranquility and rest by remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Can we be one of them?
Indeed, by remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hearts find rest and tranquility.
Welcome to a brand new series, The Servants of Allah,
Hisham Bella,
which inshallah ta'ala will focus on those issues which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves.
Let's learn how and what gains us the favor and pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Servants of Allah. Every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 3:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.